Welcome back to Spells from the Shelf. I'm Ammie.
And I'm Paul. And today each time we do this, I'm really just trying to make Emery laugh now. She just like giggles at me. And today we are covering Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman.
His name is really fun to stim to. My ADHD appreciates it because I like how many N's are in it. Dinniman. Because it kind of sounds like cinnamon.
Yeah, cinnamon, ottomans.
Yeah. This is a lit
RPG.
So RPG means role-playing game for anybody who didn't know. So that's what this type of book is. He self-published this book in particular. I believe he self-published it on Amazon and Royal Road. Correct me in the comments, please, because my phone is over yonder.
And what's funny, like out of like the self-publishers, that one of the reasons this works is like COVID was the unlikely hero here around it. Ammie just informed me. I didn't know this, that he was on the competitive cat circuit as drawing cats.
Yeah, he was an artist. Yeah.
And then when COVID hit, that's it. Poof. Like for many of us, like I used to have a food truck and that also went poof. So income for lots of people went poof. And then he started writing this book and it just took off during COVID.
It did. The thing that I couldn't remember, which anybody in the comments can let me know, is I can't remember if he does half and half now. There's a lot of authors. I was telling Paulie, kind of like Elise Kova, who still self-publishes books, but also works with a publishing house. And an overarching theme here is that publishing houses can sometimes be their own thing. Because, they have creative, rights to tell you, no, we want this instead of that. Kind of deal. Suggestions, friendly suggestions. I think they're friendly.
And I think what's funnier about this like lit RPG is like his, the fan base is the fans like helped kind of co-create some of this, right? As his Patreon subscribers, they vote on story elements.
Yes.
Similar to the way the games kind of, have clout and viewers and the fans watching.
Oh, maybe he's like Suzanne Collins, where he has become the capital.
A little bit. That was my line. Suzanne Collins has become the capital on Sunrise on the Reaping.
That was Paulie's line.
It's stuck.
Put quotation marks around it. Also, go back and watch that.
Yeah, good episode.
It was a good episode.
And a fun story if you wanted to return to the Hunger Games.
Yeah, absolutely.
But back to Dinniman.
Yeah, so this is a dark comedy. It has action and critique of consumer culture. It also has critique of reality TV.
Social media critique, celebrity critique. I do think that it is interesting, those different elements, because those are things that I think about on not a regular basis, but maybe like a quarterly basis. There's no one that I'm quite obsessed with in terms of, I've never been obsessed with a celebrity. I've never like worshipped one. Yeah, I'm in a full agreement there.
Right? We're a lot alike, Paulie, because I enjoy like The Craft, and I'll have like a favorite movie and a favorite character, but I've never had an actor or an actress that I was like obsessed with.
Yeah, there's hooks like, oh, Kate Blanchett's doing this, like I'm interested, let me check that out.
Yes.
Or Leo's doing this, like this is probably great. Thomas Hardy is another one that comes to mind, but yeah, not one that I've No, I'd say I probably had some obsession with Guns N' Roses at some point.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Following them. But we are talking about Dungeon Crawler Carl here.
And I segued into that side quest moment because he does pull a lot of that into this type of dystopian world, because it is a very dystopian world. I would say, and we're going to get into the synopsis here, it's an easy dystopian world. I think it's something that's not overly complicated. If you've never read a dystopian book, I think it's something.
What are you doing with your life?
Right? Yeah. How have you not? Maybe they didn't grow up on a dystopian era. I don't know. How have you guys not seen? But yes, very dystopian. And we're going to do the usual here. So if you want to know if this is for your TBR, you're going to get 2 different point of views on this book. And then we're going to go into a spoiler we're going to go into a spoiler zone where we're just going to let them all fly and kind of let it rip. But we'll always give a warning before that. So the synopsis here, and this is another nod because I did actually look up the author. I never do that. That's Paulie's gig.
Yeah, I love finding out a little bit about
what
did they bring in from their real world.
And one of the things that he brought in from his real world in terms of the synopsis is when you meet Carl, he lives in Seattle and the author lives in Seattle. I don't know if he lives in Seattle now. I do know that he lived in Seattle.
Yeah. So the story kind of opens up with this alien invasion, really. And they come down and all of a sudden he's outside trying to save the cat.
Donut.
Princess Donut, Grand Champion or Grand Chonk.
Yeah.
Like, there's lots of abbreviations. It's pretty spectacular. So you get kind of delivered with the two characters immediately, like Princess Donut and Carl. And this alien invasion comes down. He's out trying to save the cat. And all of a sudden, excuse me, edit that up. Or don't, keep it in as a blooper. The buildings all of a sudden get flattened, right? And he's like looking around and he's trying to figure out what just happened. And, a tunnel opens up and there's this, all of a sudden they discover it's an alien invasion. Announcements come into play and these aliens are basically coming to like mine the world. And you enter into this kind of reality game show that is televised with trillions of viewers across the galaxy. And everybody's watching. And, the social media critique is around people that can kind of send favors, send money, send loot boxes. So there is like this video game element. Now there is going to be like 10 to 11 books here that are right now talked about. So this is not triflation. This is a planned like Deca series.
Yeah, it is planned. Yeah. So this did not, in my research, he never said that he was going to make it a trilogy or anything like that. I think from what I gather, I feel like it's riding the wave. And it could have grown into its own thing.
Well, the fan base is huge. So we're going to do an episode on BookCon, Ammie and I, and Leah. We're going to bring in some friends that we went with for all different perspectives. But, the fans, because I think some of them co-created, and you see a lot of this in like the NFT world, like which is like blockchain, where you incorporate, and this took off during COVID too, where you incorporate the fans into the storyline and they help build the story. And it's like this co-creation of narrative. And the fans at BookCon were absolutely obsessed. They started lining up at 10 a.m. like to catch this thing. And I think they ended up funneling through something like, 600-700 people to get signatures for Matt Dinniman. And like, he was just swarmed with fans everywhere he went.
Oh yeah, no, I believe it. Yeah, you were gone for like 3 hours.
It was a long wait to see Matt Dinniman, but it was one of the coolest
you poor
experiences.
Thing. You were like, Psh, Paulie's gone.
Well, I met lots of people. There was ebbs and flows to the conversations. And we're gonna talk about some like inside tea. In the Audible house and Matt Dinniman.
Yes,
but he was out there like signing the books for everybody. He talked to everybody. He came out and joked with his fans. Like, this was an author that's very connected to his fans and is very grateful for the fan support, because I think it took off unexpectedly, right? Like, I think if you were pitching this book to an agent or publisher, they'd be like, "That's kind of far off. I don't think we're going to do that." This feels like the kind of book that you would have heard about 1,000 rejections for until one person decided, like, yeah, let's do this zany, harebrained idea.
Yeah, it is kind of a zany idea. No, it really is. And it has, so when he gets sucked into I kind of visualized it as getting like kind of sucked in. So you have two choices when the alien invasion comes, which felt very Independence Day, but a different take on it. Is he could either die in this, dead world, or he could enter the dungeon and shoot his best shot, essentially. It's also important to note that what you were wearing when this all happened that's it. That's what you get.
That's what you're walking into.
So he's wearing boxer shorts with hearts on them, a jacket, and like boots, right?
Well, no, it's actually his like ex-girlfriend's slippers.
Oh yeah.
So he's on the precipice of like this, his girlfriend's breaking up with him, and he's just in a bad place. And then this alien invasion happens, and the aliens are mining the earth. So he could stay there. It's not a dead world yet, but there's not going to be much for him because the aliens are taking everything. So he's like, all right. He's like, I'm freezing because it's like the dead of winter and he's trying to rescue the cat from a tree in his boxers. So he's like, all right. And he walks in his heart boxers and 2 small slippers. And then what's really funny is as you're kind of moving along, he just starts killing things with his feet, which the AI has a fetish for.
Yeah.
So it's not the kind of book like you might want to hand off to like your 11 or 12-year-old with a foot fetish. Yeah. But
no.
I mean, I feel like book 1 might work. Aside from the foot fetish piece,
there's
that's violence. There's a lot of violence.
That's a tough one. Yeah. There is a lot of violence. There's a lot of descriptions. So that is a tough one. Maybe like 16.
Yeah, I would go with probably more appropriate for 16-year-olds.
Yeah, that's what I think.
16 and up.
Easily. And our main characters is Carl, Princess Donut, who ends up becoming sentient when she enters the dungeon, so she can
talking cat.
She can talk. Princess Donut, I imagine for all my millennials out there who grew up on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the cat, well, the human that Salem was in love with, who also got turned into a cat for trying to take over the world. That's who I envisioned. Because it was a very, Persian, prissy cat, very proper. And you, of course, have the AI, which is also sentient and it controls the dungeon.
Yeah. So as I want to just talk about, I got a quote from the cat that's building on exactly what you just said. They're in the dungeon and Mordecai's like one of their mentors throughout the book. I'm going to have to start the tutorial all over. Mordecai said, she's not a pet anymore. She's now classified as a regular crawler. Not necessary, says the cat. Princess Donut, I heard everything you said to my manservant. Now wave your hand and grant me access to my prize boxes so we can get this farce rolling. Manservant? I said, this is Carl. He's a little slow, Donut said to Mordecai. Intelligence of only 3. Sad, really. And she's referring to like the category when they come in. There's constitution, there's intelligence. Sad, really. But he's been with the family for a while now, and I just can't see myself letting him go. So for the cat lovers that like ring on like cats are so condescending, you're going to love Princess Donut.
Yeah, the cat element here is well done because, cats are cats, I think this is true. I think I looked this up once. Cats domesticated themselves. They said, I don't want to be outside anymore. I want to be inside and comfortable. And as someone who has a rescue cat that I literally picked up off the street outside of my house.
It's true.
She's very she's no longer a dumpster kitty. She sleeps on a very specific part of the couch. She requires tuna. She's very prissy, very Princess Donut, except she's orange. So she's not exactly like Princess Donut.
Oh, man.
So that's definitely a good takeaway of the characters. The world is it has imagine levels in a video game, except you're almost going down because you're in this dungeon situation. So each level has a boss.
Mm-hmm. Each level you go down gets more difficult.
Yes. Right? Yeah. So
it's very video game like.
There's different bosses. Mm-hmm. So that's their
borough
villains.
Bosses, city bosses, neighborhood bosses, and each one with varying levels of difficulty.
Yeah. And they have to. So Mordecai is another character. He's he's
a level 50.
Yes. He is their guide, essentially. And we'll talk about in the spoilers what you find out about him later. Mm-hmm. We're not going to talk about it now because I feel like that would be a spoiler. There's some good themes here, kind of like my side quest moment, the dehumanization of entertainment, TV culture, where people on the show, like Paulie said, are sending gifts and toys to the from the audience to the crawlers. And that element is very much, a takeaway from Hunger Games, if you have a fan, you're able to get supplies if you need something that starts happening.
Yeah. So fans of the Hunger Games, fans of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah, that's another good one.
You're gonna enjoy, if you've enjoyed those series, I think you'll absolutely enjoy this.
Yeah, for sure. And some people kind of referenced, now who I pictured as Carl is not this, but a lot of people reference Guardians of the Galaxy.
Star-Lord.
Pratt, yeah.
Star-Lord, right? I almost said Star-Boy, and I was like, that's not
Star-Boy.
it. That's not Star-Boy. So yeah, Star-Lord is who some people picture as Carl. I pictured the guy from Justified with like a cowboy hat. That's who I pictured. That's who I imagined.
Yeah, I feel like it's like part Dukes of Hazzard, part like space opera. Like there's so many, and this is what's fun about the book. Like it's kind of genre bending. It doesn't really fall into like a very specific category, which is why I think it would have been hard to sell for like an agent or publisher, but the self-publishing really worked here. Because you've got like this horror comedy aspect, where some of the violence is like humorous, which is also kind of, you're seeing that kind of in movies now trending.
Yeah.
But it is it's very easy to read. Story moves along at a good clip. The cadence and pacing for me was really good. It definitely held my interest. I don't know. Did it hold your interest the whole time? Made me so cautious. She's like, I don't want to be controversial.
Well, the fan base is scary. You guys can scare me a little bit. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I think of it very much as like the Swifties. Please don't come for me, Swifties, because you also scare me. And the mass fans can be scary too.
Oh, well, there we go. Yeah, that's a good level set, right? Like Swifties, the mass fans, and Dungeon Crawler fans.
Yes, I found out that Dinniman fans, and listen, I'm all for like, but I understand, a lot of people love this book, and I love that for everyone. I am that person. I was so excited. Remember, I'll tell you guys, this is how much of well, I guess I can't call it a girl's girl because you're not a girl, but like this is how much of like I guess girl's girl like vibe that I have. When you told me you loved the book, I said you should go to his thing. It doesn't require a reservation. You should absolutely go. Yeah. So I'm always going to be like, yeah, you love it. You should go. I'm going to hype you up for loving it. Just don't make me love it.
No, don't make me love it.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like I'm always going to be like, if this is your vibe. But yes, did I think it moved quickly? Yes, I did think that it moved quickly. I listened to it, so I had a different format. I don't know if you listened to it. That's what I was able to get off of Libby. Yeah,
I didn't actually. No, this was one that I didn't do the audio at all. I read it straight through, book only. So the narrator was all in my head. And he was great.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, I did the audiobook because that's what was available on Libby, which is the library app. If you're not using it, you should be. Free books and audiobooks. Hello, they're expensive.
Get your Libby on.
Yeah, get your Libby on. But the audiobook is not bad. So this is not me critiquing. Like the narrator does a good job.
Jeff Hayes, who was, a lot of people really liked him.
Yeah, no, he does a good job with the...
Like he kind of hit you wrong, like with some of the
It was the
voices.
game aspect. It was the new achievement unlocked. Like, why do we have to say it 10 times in a row? You have... And maybe that's because I'm not
what's
gamer
funny?
Girl.
I do... Yeah, I don't think I'm gamer boy either. I mean, it's 2026 and I'm still playing Hogwarts Legacy and like absolutely having a ball, right? Like I'm not into like the most recent game that comes out. So I'm with you here. I did think for 10 to 11 series that, the new achievement unlock, some of the announcements, like they break up the story, I think in a pretty successful way in book one. That's the only one I've read so far, but I wonder how that evolves because I could see it kind of get annoying, even just reading it without a voice.
Oh,
where there's this kind of like constant game interruption, but that's part of the genre. Like
it is
part of what
it.
they've done here, right?
Yeah,
like the lit RPG. So I think if you're a gamer, that's not going to bother you one bit.
I think if I had read that part, then I can skim past it. But when you're listening to it and you're hearing it, like if you look at how many lines there are sometimes, like especially in the beginning when Carl first gets into the dungeon, there's so many things that he's getting.
Yeah. Yep.
And
that gets annoying even if you're playing a video game as a gamer, like constant dings.
Yes.
Right? Same with your phone, right? Do you like constant notifications on your phone? If you do, it's not going to bother you at all. But if you don't, it might like be one of those things that you're like, eh.
It's so interesting because I don't care about notifications on my phone. I care about when I'm like, because I only do like the Switch every now and then because my husband really wanted me. He's been trying to find games for years that I'll play with him and he's been successful lately. Now I am a Mario Party girl. I grew up on Mario Party, so that's my vibe. And so that was easy for him to find. But even when you're in a Mario Party, I hate when it's like, I just want to go next. I don't care what you have to say.
Mario.
Yeah.
Super Mario.
Just get me in the game, man.
Yeah.
And so that's my impatience.
I would say you are definitely immersed in the game. So
you are. Yes.
Did you have, I mean, I feel like I have a guess here, but did you have a favorite character?
I mean, you probably can guess.
I mean, she does rescue cats, ladies and gentlemen. God damn it, Donut.
God damn it, Donut. That's the only quote that I even have for you guys. Is that's my favorite. God damn it, Donut. The voice for it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. The voice actor did do a good. So when I say it and when I hear it in my head, I hear the voice actor, and it was just perfect. And yeah, Donut was pretty fantastic.
Yeah. I think we'll give props to Jeff Hayes. He was out there at the Audible House also signing books and everything. But yeah. I really enjoyed Odette. Like Carl's a blast to follow. Like you're following him. Yeah. So if I have a favorite, like I really enjoy the main character. I really liked Odette. She kind of plays one of the game show hosts, but it's a different kind.
Oh yeah, Odette.
Odette was like a very cool character.
Is that the crab lady?
Yes, that is the crab lady.
Okay.
Like dressed in like almost like a Kerrang suit. Like I don't know if you don't remember Kerrang for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a brain inside of a giant mechanic suit. I kind of imagined it like that. Yeah. But she was kind of like this level set and kind of mentor. But, you know, the mentors can't reveal too much because the AI is watching and then the Borant Corporation is watching.
I did like that theme as well with
like the Big Brother everybody's watching
with theme? AI, because it's very it harkens 1984.
Yep.
And in our last episode, you know, I talked about the theme of, you know, humans trying to control nature. And I think us as humans, we think that we can control everything. But I got to tell you guys, sometimes we should just take a step back. And he did a good job with the AI element, because I think he shows how big it got, like how big it is in the dungeon and how it can kind of like get out of hand, and very 1984. Yeah. So if I had to guess, maybe Matt Dinniman is a huge George Orwell fan. If you're a dystopian writer, I feel like your origin story would be 1984, Fahrenheit 451, like even Brave New World, I feel like. And I'd be very curious to know what his inspirations were, because I could see easily Brave New World also. Yeah.
I think one of the themes is like that Big Brother aspect, but you know, it's capitalism over, you know, kind of corporate exploitation, right? There was a lot of corporate exploitation here, where Borant is the conversation, the people inside, like the dungeon crawlers, not just Carl, because there's millions of dungeon crawlers. I think they started out with 10 million and gets reduced down to 500,000 by the end of book one, maybe like 300,000.
Yeah.
But they're all like a kind of IP that the shows like Odette and you know, the giant lizard jock, the steroid snake lizard guy, the kobold, but which if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you know about the kobolds. But you know, this idea where everybody's like a piece of IP and a product, and like, look, we're out here on social media platforms that we don't own, putting out free content, and you know, that's part of it, but you're having fun for it. This is like a different kind of exploitative element.
Yeah. And I could easily, and you can
media spectacle, right?
Yeah. You know? I think social media, and I think it's interesting the time in which he wrote this, because this was like 2020, right?
Yeah.
And I feel, if I think back, 2020 was, now social media, obviously, it didn't get born in 2020, but I feel like the boom of social media, where that kind of did have a takeoff moment, and I feel like that's like a huge inspiration here, where, you know, we just let anybody say anything now. We don't be fact checking nothing.
Nothing, man. Opinion is fact, right? We were living this whole like very wishy-washy truth arena.
Yeah, no, check everything, guys. Don't because sometimes, you know, they be telling you, you know, that you have this and you may not have that. Always check. And I think that's an important message that I took away from that you should always like check things, because like you're living in this world, this arena. And we're in an arena, I think.
Yeah. No,
not to this level. I would die. I'd be over. And another theme that he kind of pulls in is dealing with, you know, the violence. So you're seeing Carl's character, and this is not a spoiler, but you're going to see Carl's character, how he starts out and how it ends. is a very different road that he takes. And I think of that as like the trauma from so much happening. Like, I mean, his whole world is gone.
Yeah.
In
Complete
seconds.
collapse.
Yeah. In seconds.
I like the idea of like the perseverance of the spirit too. And he puts this in his acknowledgments where he's like, you will not break me. Right. You kind of see Carl repeat that over and over again. There's a real grit to his character, which I think, is classified as constitution, inside the game grading levels. But if you think about how the book and the storyline was really born out of COVID, like this idea that you will not break us, I think is very important. I think there were some really great themes here. I think anybody that's lived through COVID in any way, this book will resonate in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Yeah. That perseverance and just a very strange situation and making the best of it. Right.
Yeah. That's right.
I mean, it's very seeped in. And I think that's what's kind of, that is a nice nod to a very strange time where I feel like we jump timelines. Like we're in a like 2020 was so weird.
What simulation is this now?
Yeah, what simulation?
I just got ported to a different level.
Maybe that's why it's such maybe that's why he did get so inspired and he kept going with the story, because he's like, he's going to keep making.
There's more to tell.
Yeah. And this isn't a spoiler, but obviously there's so much more to this series. So it doesn't end on book 1. So, you kind of you're going to be hanging out with Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be hanging out with him. And what I thought was interesting, no, that's a spoiler. I almost said something.
Is it time for spoilers though? I feel like we're about it.
We're about?
Time.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
So let's do our ratings.
Okay.
What was yours? Oh, you're pausing. I did not expect that.
I think this was a 5 for me too, but like I'm vacillating in between like 4.5 and 5, and I was like, well, if I give it a 4.5, I don't know what the dings were, because to me it was this was unexpected. I had never heard of this book before. It's everywhere. Like they're making TVs. There's going to be a TV adaptation.
There is, yes.
Graphic novels, board games. Like this has been fully merged out. And congratulations, Matt Dinniman, for taking a shit scenario like COVID and turning it into this for yourself. Well done. It was so unexpected. My cousin, I have a big family. We have a big family. My cousin Allison is the one that recommended this book to me. And I was like, and she was like, I have nobody else to talk to about this weird ass book. And you'll see it from my TikTok people, the books to people. They're like, if you try to explain this premise to somebody that doesn't like read much, it's very bizarre.
It is.
So you look forward to finding people that read it, right? And I think that's one, obviously we've talked about his big fan base, but I think it was unexpected for me, even in the sense that it was like, all right, somebody told me it was a game and it's like this lit RPG, literary role-playing game.
Yeah.
And I really didn't know how it was going to unfold. And I laughed out loud a ton. And I think it's rare for books. I feel like in the last time there were laugh out loud moments in another book that I read recently, but this was one of them where I think you're going to have a lot of laughs. It brings a lot of humor. Some of the humor is dark, but a lot of it is very funny. So yeah, I think I'm going to give this one a 5 too. And I know we disagree there, or we gave different ratings. Not
That's
disagree,
okay.
but
listen,
what was your rating on it?
1.5. I whispered that.
Whoa,
1.5.
All right.
1.5.
So give so tell the crowd we need some whys. We need like a hard.
Okay, so Princess Donut got 1 star and the AI got half a star. Because I don't like AI, so I'm actually okay with the criticism. I actually enjoyed the criticism that Matt put into the book about AI, the very Big Brother watching. I am a dystopian girly, so I enjoyed that. I found it performative. I felt like it was a check of a list of like just a ton of rage bait.
Okay.
So, and I feel like that's a fair assessment on my part if I think about the time in which he wrote it. I mean, it was a weird time in our lives and maybe he was rageful. So he put some rage in it. But I felt it. I felt submersed in it, I think. And it was very uncomfortable.
Do you have like one of the examples of the rage bait? And I agree. I think there's some rage bait in there. I'm just wondering.
Chapter, the hoarder boss. I don't remember the chapter. It's the hoarder boss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that just rubbed you all sorts of
That
wrong way,
rubbed me all sorts of the wrong way.
Yeah.
It did. Okay. And I think I'm from, like, you know, millennials, we didn't have trigger warnings in our books. We were just we were apparently just like going into books.
Phenomenon.
Yeah. So trigger warnings were not a thing in books that I read growing up. What I will say is when it comes to the hoarder boss, what I found it particularly hard to stomach because of the description of the woman. And I felt like it was so harsh that it was so hard to look at. And on the one hand, I can say the author does a good job of describing things. And then on the other hand, I couldn't tell if he was making a comment on how people of different sizes in our society, especially, you know, females, look. If he was just making a comment on it, or if some of it is like his own
actual view.
Right.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's hard
just
to it hit me wrong. So on a personal level, it hit me wrong. And it's not that he should put a trigger warning in that. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't expect anybody to put a trigger warning for every single little thing. Sure. Everybody's just going to, sometimes there's something that's just going to hit you the wrong way, and maybe it hits you too personally.
That did, yeah. And I'll add some context there. So all the bosses, not all the bosses, but some of the bosses are like human hybrids that the Borant Corporation like manipulated and rebuilt.
Yes.
So there are other human mutant characters in there that have also graphic descriptions. And I also like Matt Dinniman, somebody that has a daughter, watches Gossip Girl with his daughter. One of the girls I was online with had a book club thing. But I totally see that kind of like just hitting the wrong way.
Yeah. And if you're like if you're not expecting it, I think it just was surprising. And the problem with audiobooks for me, I don't think for anybody else, but the problem for me with audiobooks is you can't skip, right? You can't skim. Like, you could skip, but you're already in it. You're already like submersed in the language. And I listen to audiobooks at 1.5 speed.
Oh, I don't know. I skip. I listen. Yeah, I don't know. I vacillate between 1.2 and 1.5, but I will often skip something if I don't like it. Like, especially if Brimstone, for example, I was like, I could skip this and I'll land wherever and it'll be fine.
Right. And I think I wasn't skipping.
I don't like this. Skip. Like, I think it's kind of like,
yeah,
you know, you're empowered to do that on audio the same way you are on pages.
You can. I think because I think I'm more in shock when I'm listening, because it's like I can't put a pillow in front of my face.
I got it. Yeah. Yeah, you can't plug your ears because you've already got the headphones.
It's like you go frozen. Like, I go frozen and I'm like, what's happening? What's going on? Because it's very descriptive. And this is where the horror element kind of comes in.
The horror comedy piece.
Yeah. So it is more horror piece to it. Thank God there was no clown in here. I'm very scared of clowns.
Very scared of clowns.
So that was kind of my pieces of and I didn't just give Donut once. I mean, I'm a cat. I love cats. So yeah, I'm going to give Donut a star and joke about that. But no, I do think that it is, if you've never read a dystopian book, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. You could easily drop into this world. You can read a dystopian story, then not feel like you're lost in the matrix of it all.
Yeah, it wasn't too complicated where you're like, oh, I don't get it. There's things that aren't quite revealed as you're learning the world, but
the writing is
very accessible
to read through. The audiobook is good if you are mostly an audiobook reader. I found the narrator to be good. It's just the new achievement unlocked. Like, after a while, you're like, all right.
I did kind of enjoy reading some of those, but again, like on audio, bing, bing. Yeah, it's just like,
yeah. So I will absolutely give credit where it's due that I enjoyed a lot of the themes that he was hitting on. So that is my reasoning there.
Okay, fair play.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you heard it here. Matt Dinniman, Dungeon Crawler Carl. I loved it. Ammie did not. Let's find out what you liked.
Yeah.
And didn't like. Like, who likes the series, who didn't like the series. I found it to be a very fun read, but we want to hear your point of view, our fans.
Yeah, we really do. Do you want to give any spoiler before we head on out on this one? I thought the Civil War aspect was interesting in the background with the aliens.
Yes. So later on,
how it's bigger than just the dungeon.
It's bigger than just Borant. So that's a good call out where there's other things at play, right? The behind the veil, there's other things going on. And Odette's one of the characters that kind of helps like peel back that curtain.
Yes.
And it's a good narrative mechanic to kind of just have that happen. So you've got Boran, who started the season early, the Dungeon Crawler series early, to kind of get ahead and not go bankrupt. And they've got pressure on them. Did you like that aspect?
Oh, I did. I enjoyed, and I just, when you said about Odette, because she is a crab lady, it's kind of cool. I feel like he took some elements from Coraline there. Anybody who's ever seen Coraline, where,
Neil
you
Gaiman,
have like the visualization, ooh, words are hard, was good. And I felt like, since her character is the one that kind of peels back that curtain, I found it interesting that her character also has to peel off a part of herself, because she is the one who kind of reveals that there's this big intergalactic civil war going on.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the dungeon. There aren't very many spoilers here other than that.
Yeah, because I feel like the story kind of moves kind of linear, in a very linear fashion. And you just kind of get these pockets of like hints that there's a much bigger thing at play other than just Carl moving through the dungeon. You get like the dungeon politics, right? Like what's happening there.
Yeah, exactly. So there's not many spoilers that we have to give here. It's just like the Civil War going on, and Carl and Donut do make it out alive. There are 10 books here. So
they're just coming out. They're just going into level 3.
Yes.
As we end book 1.
Which is interesting
that show, and
that it's just 3 levels that you get to. Almost.
Yeah, it's really just 2, right? It's kind of in 3 parts. You're getting to know him on Earth, then you're getting to know him in the dungeon in level 1, and all of dungeon level 2, and then you're getting them as they walk into 3.
Yeah.
And it's, again, you're looking at 400, a little bit over 400 pages.
Yeah.
420 pages. So, again, it's a nice length. You read it at a good clip.
The only thing that I'll say too that I think is a spoiler is, now obviously I've only read book 1. Will I read book 2? I don't know. You all tell me.
Do you want more?
Do you want me to read book 2? Listen, if I read book 2 and I still don't like it, I'm not.
Well, you gave it 2 chances, and that's your rule. So
yeah. So if I read book 2 and I still don't like it,
that also means we might get another Sanderson if we're getting the downloads.
I think he'll kill Carl in the end.
Yeah, that would,
because it is a horror. It's not a stereotypical dystopian. I think of it more as a dystopian horror story. And in order for that to happen, I think Carl has to die.
Does the cat lose a leg?
Yeah. Oh.
I think the cat would have to come out handicapped, but the cat lives past Carl.
Yeah, I think the cat will end up living past Carl. But that is my hot take in the spoiler section of where I think I could see the series going.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting it to be more horror based than it. Yeah. So that took me by surprise. And maybe that's the problem. I have told you guys I don't enjoy horror.
Yeah.
So, but please let us know if you really want us to read book 2. I'll do it.
We've got a lot. Yeah. It would be later. It would be probably season 5 anyway.
Yeah. It would probably be season 5.
We got all season 4 planned out.
Yeah, we do. We have all of season 4 planned out. We have some exciting things coming. Be sure to follow us. We have spellsfromtheshelf.com. We have Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You can literally find us anywhere, like Matt Dinniman said. We're in the Matrix, guys. We're in it. We're locked in. But yeah, so that's all of our thoughts. Let us know what your thoughts are. And thanks for joining us. Bye.
Adios.